you notice, there's two flags on there. One of them is the American flag, which is toilet paper now. The second flag is the blue line of bullshit flag. That's basically an American flag, and they make it black and white with a blue stripe for one of the stripes. Now, I want to show you something here before I go off about that motorcycle. This here is a really nice fucking car. Right? Look at that thing. Like, oh my god. It's fucking beautiful. Right? It's new, it's clean, it's nice looking. It looks kind of like a spaceship. Or kind of has a similar body style to, well, a beefed up version of like the old Stingrays. The woman who got out of that vehicle is very pretty. She was wearing a very, very pretty dress. She has a very, very pretty car. And she got out, and the first thing she did was stare at me. Looked at me like I raped her fucking dog. Now, why did I look up and notice that she was staring at me all fucking mean mugging? Well, it would be because of that car. I mean, it is the shiniest car in the whole lot. All the other cars here, they got at least a little bit of dirt on it. That one right there looks like it's been professionally manicured. When it comes to the police and the blue line of bullshit, like what's on that bike over there, there's a reason it's a blue line of bullshit, and there's a reason that those cops are getting killed. It's because cops aren't doing their jobs. Innocent people are losing their entire lives. They're losing their families. They're losing their houses. They're losing their jobs because of cops who are fucking dirty. Cops who don't want to do their jobs because they're too fucking lazy. Or cops who already assumed your guilt. Or cops who see that you're homeless or a minority, which means you're probably too broke for a real goddamn lawyer. So arresting you, it doesn't matter to them in the least bit how much they destroy your life. There's another Piggly Wiggly right there. It doesn't matter how much they destroy your life. What matters to them is the benefits that they get, the paycheck that they get, the prestige that they get. I've heard quite a few officers standing in line at Starbucks bragging about how, yeah, you know, I got a lot of people who buy me coffee when I go places. That man looks like he's retirement age. He might have been a police officer back when police officers actually did their fucking jobs. That'd be nice. Now we got a bunch of young punks. The only reason they got the job is because nobody else is applying. Most of these punks are just bullies. All they want to do is hide behind the badge so they can get away with harming people. And it's disgusting. I remember in the 1980s, my stepdad, my ex-stepdad, his name is Larry Albert. He broke my mom's neck in Erie, Colorado. Officer Jane LaRue from Longmont came and rescued us. She took us to a place that is almost non-existent in America today. And that place is a battered women's shelter. It was a 2-story house. It was ran by a woman who's obviously not rich, but she just wanted to help people. And that's where Officer Jane LaRue took us. That guy on the blue line of bullshit bike is staring me down now. Which I'm fine with. But the thing is, saving lives comes down to people who are there at the time doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. When it comes down to saving lives, your neighbor's more likely to save your life. Oh, there's a pretty girl in her pretty car driving by. And there's a blue line of bullshit dude driving the other way. Y'all are allowed to have your predetermined judgments that are based on your opinions of other situations that have nothing to do with the facts. But then again, it's okay, because there's no consequences for you. the consequences for Natalie not, or for me, for Natalie not telling her mother that they invited me. I still have to deal with the repercussions of that every day. And the things that people did to me because of that every day. People are like, well, you hate everybody. No, I don't. And then there's folks who are like, you fucking treat everybody who helps you like shit. No, I don't. Most of these people didn't help me, they harmed me. And a lot of people had great intentions. The problem is, with their great intentions, their mouth still didn't match their actions. The things they said that they would do to help me to get an honest day in court, these people didn't do. And that was the most important part. Food didn't matter. It was getting the evidence in a timely and efficient manner. And that's tough to do when you're constantly going around from one court date to another, to another, to another. And one thing that I rarely speak about as far as the expenses go, I'm always talking about the expenses of having to go to all these different courthouses all the damn time and going to see the public pretenders who don't show up and won't look at the evidence and refuse to do their jobs. And I talk about the expense of going and meeting their investigators who literally not one of their investigators has showed up for a single appointment. And there were at least 11 appointments for me to go see these investigators for my defense. But the part that I don't talk about the real expense of is the expense of going to all of these therapy sessions and all of these therapy places while these people pretend like I'm making no effort to get any help. No, I'm prevented from having the resources to get the help I need because of rotten cops who did rotten things because they made bad assumptions. They didn't communicate. They communicated with each other, but they didn't communicate with me. The officers saying that it's okay what these other officers did to me. No, don't tell me it's okay. Look at the fucking evidence, you fucking piece of shit. Take my goddamn statement, you fucking piece of shit. Don't limit it to just very stupid questions that you want to ask and nothing else. Because here's the thing, if your officers did wrong in a case involving other people, what that officer did wrong does need to be a part of that statement. You don't get to pick and choose the truth that is allowed to be shown. That should never be allowed. That young woman who beat the fuck out of that dude's face because he raped her, yeah, it's pretty fucked up, omitting the fact that she was trying to turn a man in for rape. Instead, you charge her with assault for defending herself against this rapist. You literally punished her for being honest and coming forward about her predator. And this is why victims don't come forward. They're afraid of the fucking cops. A lot of little girls that I knew growing up were cutters. And they all cut for the same reason, because their daddy couldn't keep his hands to himself. But that isn't the primary reason that they cut. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God, that hurt. The primary reason they cut is because they told their mom and their mom blew them off or called them a liar. Most of these women hold more resentment towards their mother than they do towards the man who raped them. And I have lots of texts and quite a few videos where people who were victims of sexual assault growing up admitted that a lot of women who told on their predators ended up getting punished for it. Punished for turning in a predator. Punished by who? The police, the courts, those hospitals. You tried turning in your dad, your mom didn't care. You need someone to listen. Boys threaten to kill themselves, and they kill themselves at 5 times the rate of women, or 5 times the rate of girls, starting at age 15. At age 15, girls start cutting themselves at 5 times the rate of boys. Why is this? It's because boys and girls both know the girl is the one more likely to be hurt. A boy is told to man up You just need to shut up and man up. Take the abuse. It's your job to take the abuse. That's what men do. We take the abuse. We take the mental abuse. We take the physical abuse. And we're not allowed to do anything back, or we're the bad guys. Well, and that's what I'm fighting here. I'm fighting a bunch of rapists and a bunch of child molesters who the cops let walk free, while they lock up the homeless and tell you about how we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Meanwhile, 1 in 10 of those homeless people who's being incarcerated for how illegal it is to be homeless, yeah, 1 in 10 of those people is a veteran. 1 in 10. That's a staggering statistic when you consider that that's 10% of the homeless population. And veterans do not account for 10% of the population. They don't account anywhere close to 10% of the population. I don't want to hear about how great America is. Alright, we got a racist asshole for president. We got KKK members running around with Make America Great Again hats. We got people who were born here in America being treated like criminals because they have brown skin. We got a lot of people who care about these immigrants in these detainment centers.
Okay, I'm heading to CSEC.
Alright, be safe, ma'am.
I will. Hey,
It's good to meet you.
A couple dollars by chance?
I don't. All of my money went to that phone and to getting you something to eat last night. And
can I use your car? Just to grab something to eat across the street. I mean, I'll walk with you.
You can, yeah.
I'm just starving.
Give me like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a lot of people out here doing desperate shit. It's because they're in desperate situations. You're right.
I can do that. I can go by myself.
Well, I have my stuff abandoned in Starbucks,
That's
and I can't be giving anybody my code.
Okay,
But I'm definitely down with walking over there.
It's just right, right there.
Yeah.
Or
Well, let me go pack up my stuff real quick, and I'll walk over there.
Okay. I just have to, I'm like, you know what I mean?
Anyway, most of my money went to people who victimized me. Most of my money went to the police, to the courts, to doing the things that the Bollingers wanted me to do, and doing the things that Lana and Amanda wanted me to do, and doing the things that Dan Favorite wanted me to do, and Shannon Alvarado wanted me to do, and Tabby wanted me to do, and Graham wanted me to do, and my mom wanted me to do, in order to get their help. But I needed their help to be the help that I needed, the help that we agreed upon. And that's not the help that I got. The help that I got was, alright, well, this is what I said, yeah, but the situation's different. I should have told you I was an alcoholic before you showed up, kind of thing. I'm pissed off. People shouldn't be treated like this. The only people treated worse than the homeless in America are homeless minorities. And that's a sick, sad fact. When Zaid Atkinson and Samuel Leon Lawrence IV were assaulted and treated like homeless people in Boulder, Colorado, Black Lives Matter really cared. But then there's actual homeless people who have endured 10 times worse than that, like Mark Swanigan and Brian Townsend, who are also minorities. But they're actually homeless, so Black Lives Matter didn't care. Not even willing to take a look. And that's the problem with America today. No such thing as unity. We got to have it segregated and separated. Men's side over here, women's side over there, black side over there, white side over there, immigrant side over here. It's fucking crazy. And people say, you can't do anything. You know, there's no reason to fight the system. There's no way to win. Well, that's not true. Solidarity, sticking together, working together towards a common goal, our rights. Not sure if you noticed, but all the rights that people are complaining about, from women to minorities to immigrants to even these white racist assholes, they're all complaining about rights they're supposed to have under the Constitution.